something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear.
It wasn't I'd felt ill or run down, or I'd even lost any weight, like you're meant to when you've got cancer. I'd simply passed blood, just a couple of times. Nothing to be worried about, I was told. A urinary tract infection, most probably. You'll be fine. But it's not fine. It's scary. It's one of the worst things that come to any fella when you start peeing blood. Really not nice. And it's not nice for the other swimmers either. Sorry. I'd done the walk from the Archway Tube up to the Whittington Hospital many, many times. Sometimes on my own, sometimes with me dad, sometimes in a cab. Well, I got cancer, and exercise spreads it. That's what I'm saying, anyway. Because when you got cancer, you can say what you want and do what you want. Except maybe do a comedy show about it. That's a bit suspect.
Mr. André Vincent!
Hello, Wickham, how the devil are you? I thought I'd bring a show to you, ladies and gentlemen, and it's about cancer, because I had it 2 years ago, and how quickly the room has gone quiet. Look at you, your body language, sir. You're so scared already, aren't you? You're going, this ain't right. I don't want this. Come with me, sir. Come on the train, and I'll prove to you that tumours can be funny. My problem started at the Edinburgh Festival in 2001. I suddenly started passing blood for no reason. And so when I got back to London, I saw my GP, and he gave me some antibiotics, saying it was probably a urinary tract infection, and that was it. It went, problem gone. Cut to 6 months later, my man-worm started bursting blood like a cheap Japanese manga movie. So I went back to my GP, and something started to happen that was going to reoccur throughout all of my treatment. I was unaware that doctors and nurses and hospital staff say some of the weirdest things to protect themselves in case it all goes tits up, and then consequently you can turn around and sue. And this was to happen from my very first test. The doctor actually looks at me and he says, "Tell me, Mr. Vincent, is your urine getting stronger?"
Is your urine getting stronger? Well, how do I know that it's lifting the lid up on its own now? Yeah.
And then he looks at me and says, "Well, tell me, does it smell or taste different?"
Does it smell or taste different? I'm like, what? Taste? How many men in this room on a regular occurrence? You know what I mean? It doesn't happen.
And then he looks at me and he says, "Well, tell me, have you passed any other shades?"
Have you passed any other shades? I said, well, I'm pissing the Dulux colour chart. I mean...
That's good enough reason to get tested. Man, boy, did I ever get tested. 6 different ways. So, I did a CT scan, an MRI scan, a chest X-ray, ultrasound, and nuclear. They put a Mach 3 nuclear dye inside me. I never got one superpower. But the worst one, horror of all horrors, the endoscope. Without a doubt, the most difficult and horrible test of them all. This camera here goes down the middle of your penis. And again, the weird questions start up once more. The urologist says to me,
"Tell me when I've gone too far." How do I know? I'm going, yeah, well, I thought the mere suggestion was slightly over the top. When you've popped one of my eyes out, chances are you've gone too far. Best thing to do, put a polo on the end. If I get a fresh minty taste in my mouth, you've gone too far.
What they actually do is they put this bit on the end of your penis, fill you up with water, slightly stretch you open, and then very gently, very, very gently, they just start sliding the camera in, very gently at first, and then they just turn into this overzealous gondolier.
Go on, son, take it, take it.
It's going to be stones. Because it's in the family.
So my father and I go to the Whittington Hospital to find out the results of the test.
It's going to be stones. No,
My father is so convinced it's kidney stones, he's even put a bet on it.
10 to 1 on it, it's stones. It's in the family.
So at the beginning of 2002, my father and I started going to the Whittington's Hospital. And there we met the urologist, Mr. Nathan. So I said to Mr. Nathan, what are my results?
I said, Andre, I'm very sorry to tell you that the CT scan confirms that you've got cancer in your left kidney.
Cancer! And then I said, you sure it's not stones? Because the stones are in the family.
Because of this reaction, I naturally said, Dad, I've got cancer. I win. 1 in 5 people of my age with my condition will die within a year of diagnosis. So the sooner we get this out, the better. And Mr. Nathan tells me he's going to operate on me in 6 weeks. So that gives me a month and a half to convince everybody that cancer's not a dirty word. Starting with my family.
Me nan was pretty good. She just rang up and she went, what do you want to do? Eat broccoli. Eat broccoli. I've had broccoli all my life. I've never had cancer. That's what you want to do. Eat broccoli. But the rest of my family started panicking. I'll tell you what, we'll all come together and we'll send you private. Let's do it private. It's best to go private. I had to go to Harley Street. And you know, you go up to the doctor's surgery, and you know what a doctor's surgery is? It's white, it's clean. It's got like little plastic bits of body around the room. That's what you want. I walk in, there's this beautiful Persian rug, bookshelves everywhere, big fireplace, big leather chair. And I just stand there thinking, what the fuck? It's like some old gentleman's drinking club. I'm thinking, fuck off, I want the Whittingtons. It's named after a pantomime. Come on, I'm a performer. I went through all the operation behind you. And so I thought, right, yeah. And so I told my family, no, I'm going to go to the Whittington's Hospital at the end of April. And so they accepted it, and everyone, that's what they knew. And I thought, well, with my family now, I better tell friends. I thought it's time to tell friends that I've got cancer.
Now, all my close friends are comedians. People who climb up on stage in a room full of strangers to give their views and their thoughts. Well, they take us on trips of their imagination of the obscure and the bizarre. Stand-ups were told in this country that we were the last bastion of freedom of speech. Oh, what rebels we stand-ups are. We say the unsayable and we shoot taboos down in flames. So with such open-mindedness, comedians will be fine about talking about my cancer. They'll be fine. They were shit. They could not handle it. Well, within days, everybody on the comedy circuit knew that I had cancer. But could they say the word cancer to me? No. They'd say to me things like,
oh, hi, Vinny. How's your health?
Your health? Yeah, why can't you say your cancer?
How's your little problem?
Your problem? Say your cancer.
How's your little issue?
Your little issue? My little issue? What does that mean? Like I'm selling some tiny magazine on a street corner?
How's your little issue?
She can say anything she wants. But one of the weirdest things that happened was I'm walking along a road very much like this, and my phone rang very much like it is now, and I answered it, and it was one of my closest friends, and he actually said,
Vinny, I've heard you've got cancer. I just don't know what to say.
and I just sort of like looked and just sort of said, well, why the hell have you phoned me then? One person came up to me and said something that I rather liked.
Vinny, I heard about the cancer. Can I have your DVDs, please?
So why couldn't the others be more like that? That's the way I was handling it all. Why couldn't they say the word cancer? People started coming up to me and going, oh, Vinny, aren't you brave? Aren't you brave? I'm not brave. I'm unlucky. And people would say, I'll pray for you. Now, even if I didn't have cancer, I think it's a bit too late now. Or they'd say, I'll light a candle for you. Light a candle? Let me tell you now, if those candles worked, they wouldn't be 50p each. But the worst thing that anyone could say to me, and I know that it was a heartfelt, well-intended phrase, was, is there anything I can do? It was like somebody had put a sticker on me saying, not like us anymore, needs help. It wasn't that I was bedridden, I was still the same. So what I started doing was just gently rubbing them on the side and going, well, you know, now you say that, what blood type are you? How strong's your kidney?